Okay, so we're back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. First of all, I've got to say thank you so much to the support we had for the live commentary yesterday. It was a real encouragement. It was the first time we did a big show for a long time, obviously because of COVID and all the rest of it. It was a real big show, and I just want to say thank you to those people that were supportive. I really want to say a big thank you to those people watching us across Facebook and across Twitch. First of all, across Facebook, we got 7,500 viewers watching us live on Facebook yesterday. I just looked at the stats now. That was just yesterday. So I was really encouraged about that. So, yeah, of course, we got some good views on YouTube as well. But I think Facebook's really good to see it on Facebook. And then across Twitch as well, we got some good viewership over on Twitch as well. So thank you so much to those people watching us now live on Twitch. Make sure you smash the follow button on Twitch. And if you're watching us on Facebook, do smash the like button as well. So, okay. Good evening, Mr. Ruben Guerrero. So this evening, we have a real special surprise for you. But we will be doing a post-fight Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. And we're going to try and make that real special for you. But now, I want to do the review of last night's fight between Joe Smith and Eleider Alvarez. I hope I pronounced the guy's name right. But we're doing a review. But you know, with me, it's nice to have my own personal opinion. I'm a big Joe Smith fan. But you know, sometimes it's nice to have someone else in the room who knows what they're talking about. And he's not just a mouthpiece, but actually knows what they're talking about for the world of boxing. So I'm just going to bring in my guest. I'm proud once again to welcome back in the room and in their house, the man himself, Isaac Chilemba. Isaac, how you doing, chap? How are things?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really, really happy to have you back in the room, and it's an honor. I mean, it was a last-minute thing. I thought it was great to have you in the room to talk about the fight.
I'm happy to be here.
And for people who don't know who you are, please reintroduce yourself to people in the room.
I'm Isaac Chilemba, the former IBO super middleweight champion, and I fought Eleider Alvarez myself. I think that's good enough intro I can give.
So, how good is Alvarez, by the way, before we go on?
Alvarez is a good fighter, smart fighter. He knows how to pick his opponent. I mean, I fought him, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I can't be in the room, because we know you know what you're talking about. You fought the guy.
Yes. He's smart. He knows where to pick, where to throw shots, and tries to think ahead of you. And in his previous fight, I saw it this morning. Actually, I was very surprised. Very, very surprised.
Do you think? Oh, I don't want to take anything away from Joe Smith. I'm a big fan of Joe Smith, but I've got to try and be as balanced as possible. Do you think that COVID has had any effect on fighters?
Yes, of course. Most of us, like I know here in South Africa, we're still under lockdown, even though the restrictions have been lifted. But for the first 2 months, we are not out of the house at all. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go for a run or for a walk. Then thereafter, yes, I could run, but certain hours of the day, and we couldn't go to the gym. I mean, our gyms just been open 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. That's all. I only been in the gym for the last week or so. So that itself already takes a lot out of you, because as a fighter, I need to maintain sharpen my skills every day, being in the gym, at least 5 days a week being in the gym. But now, staying at home, I couldn't even move a muscle. I couldn't even go for a walk, do anything. Everything I did was indoors. I just go in the backyard and do some jumps and push-ups and other stuff. But it's not the same as being in the gym and going for a run. So yes, it did take a lot of us.
So do you think that would have had any effect to people like Alvarez and other people around the world, other boxers around the world?
Yeah, that I believe it does. I mean, it did. So as psychology played a big role in it. But on the same token, both fighters they still they were affected with this COVID-19. Both Alvarez and Smith they were or they're still under these conditions, living in the same conditions, and so I guess it just took who came on that night and overcome the pandemic we're going through right now.
Okay, we've got Ruben Guerrero, our regular on the show. He says good evening to you. And he also says Alvarez looked old in there, 36, and hasn't been very active in the last few years. Apparently, he has now retired. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, age does play a role when it comes to this sport. The older you get, you lose your strength, you lose your agility, and also, yeah, he's been very inactive. He was fighting like once a year or so. So that uh, I understand. It took a lot out of him, but I mean, a fighter is a fighter. You get there, you prepare for the fight, you try to put your mind um, in the sharpest mode as you can, and when it comes to another fight, depends who is on top of the game on that night. And mostly it's got nothing to do with the physical ability. It's mentally. That's my belief. So yes, the age could play a role, but listen, he's 35, 36, and
Yeah.
being a light heavyweight, he's still got some strength to carry you through. I mean, if he was a lightweight or featherweight or bantamweight, I would understand. But for light heavyweight, our bodies can still because we don't need much movement as smaller guys need.
Yes.
So most of the fighters they fight, especially light heavyweight to heavyweight. I mean, from light heavyweight above, you can fight over while you over 40. It just
Wow.
depends how you prepare yourself mentally.
Okay. Well, we've got to add you to the mix now because you're not exactly 25 anymore, are you? So I mean, you know, you come into.
I am heading there. I am heading, so I know, like right now, um, what kills me is I have to double my work to maintain the same condition I was in my 20s. Now, if I used to run, let's say 10 kilometers or 8 kilometers 3 4 times a week to get super fit. Now I have to double that in a week. I have to do 15 kilometers and run maybe 5 6 times a week just to maintain the same uh, stamina and endurance I had when I was in my 20s. So I know when the age does catch up and your muscles also slow down a bit. The speed is the same, the power is not the same.
Shout out to Ms. TTUK. We have in the room with us Isaac Chilemba. He's fought the best of the best up there in the light heavyweight division. Tell us the sort of guys that you faced in the light heavyweight division in terms of the quality of the man that's in the room at the moment. Who are the guys you fought in your weight division? Just to remind people.
The guys I fought in my division, I fought Eleider Alvarez himself. I fought Kovalev, Sergey Kovalev. I fought Bivol. I fought Maxim Vlasov. Um, I thought he just retired now. His name's to Gozek. Gozek, yes, that's his
Vic,
name.
yes.
So that's some of the top fighters I fought in light heavyweight.
And of course, the greatest light heavyweight of all time, Tony Bellew.
Yes, Tony Bellew. Yes, I forgot about that. I fought Tony Bellew. Yes.
we all the greatest light heavyweight ever, Tony Bellew.
I tend to forget a lot. Yeah. So I'm still hanging in there though.
Yes.
I'm hoping to get a shot. I mean, I was meant to fight few months ago, about 5 months ago in Russia. I was
Okay.
scheduled to fight at the super middleweight division. I was going to fight Fedor Shudnov
At
super
super
middleweight.
middleweight, though, champ, at super middleweight. I'm not being funny, but at your age, moving down to super middleweight, that is a bit of a push.
I'm a fighter. I'm ready to take any challenge I can get, any chance I can. And I truly believe. I mean, I was in super middleweight, even though last time I fought at super middleweight was 10 years ago. I think that was the 2010 that I fought as a super middleweight, and since then I've been fighting light heavyweight. And my last fight, I fought at cruiserweight. But I was, as a fighter, I've got that heart of a fighter. I knew that I can go back to super middleweight and still maintain the same strength and
Champ,
power to defeat a guy like that.
please, begging, please, don't fight super middleweight. Stay like
No,
heavyweight.
I will be okay. For now, the fight is on a hold. We're still waiting to see what will happen with this COVID-19, and when will the borders be open and when we can travel. And I'm happy now we're back here. As I said, we're back in gym. I'll start getting everything together, and when they give us a go that we can, they will schedule a fight. I'll be ready. I'll be ready to do so.
Super middleweight, though, champ. Super middleweight.
Yeah.
You're gonna be. You're becoming look like this.
No, it'll be okay. I mean, being in the game for a while, I know my body very well, and I know what type of diet I'll have to go on to maintain my strength and lose weight at the same time. So I will be okay.
But wait, are you suggesting you would take a title? You're looking for a title shot of super middleweight? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, that was just a chance that I got to fight Fedor Chudinov, and I don't know. Would depend after that fight if it happens. We'll see. We'll see if I'll be happy to stay at 1 or 2 more fights, or when I go back to light heavy or try cruiserweight again.
Bro, I'd rather you move up or stay at light heavyweight. But the thing is,
No,
the thing I hate.
cruiserweight. Yeah.
When you're moving down in weight, and as an older fighter or as a veteran fighter, you move. You know yourself. You move down in weight. How many guys who have got good records and good resumes and have fought the best and have been tough and strong, then they move down in weight and then they get knocked out in a couple of rounds, get hit with a shot.
Yeah,
You've seen it.
I know the chances I'm taking. I know the side effects of losing so much weight. But as I said, I'm a fighter. I believe in myself. I know what type of diet to go on and how I'll have to change my training schedules in order to maintain, not to lose weight and healthy weight, but you lose it healthy. Healthy that doesn't do any damage to my body or my strength or my abilities.
Okay. You're the boxer, you know. It's your body. Well,
I'll be okay.
I don't really want to be tuning in on a Saturday night. Yeah, it's Isaac Chilemba. Oh, he's got knocked out in the first round. I don't really want to be seeing that. And
I've got so much belief in myself that what you want to see in that.
I don't want to see anything like that, anything remotely like that. And is it is it time for Chilemba to retire? Or you know how commentary's like. They're ready to write somebody off. The weights are just one. When you see guys, you know, who are more mature, and then it's like pull himself down in weight. I saw the same thing. Eddie Chambers, heavyweight, put himself down to light heavyweight. I'm like, what are you doing? And then you see,
I know it's not always good. I mean, it's never good for an old fighter to pull down. I mean, to drop down so much weight. But you know, I was there before.
Your trainer's a perfect example, Roy Jones. I mean, you know, you should have Roy and think Tarver and think, do I really want to be doing this? You know?
I know. I hear you. I know what you're talking about. We'll see. For now, we're still waiting. I think the fight is between Germany with this COVID and the other issues that they're going through in Russia. So we'll see when it will happen. Yeah.
So, Joe Smith, you haven't fought Joe Smith. Why is that?
No. I think it was just the timing where by the time he was getting up in rankings and I was already on the other path. I mean, I know Joe very well. When I was training in New Jersey, we fought a couple of times. That was when he had like 11 or 12 fights.
Yep.
And yeah, I fought him a couple of times. And years later, he went, I think it was a year or 2 years later, he fought Hopkins. That was one of
Yes.
his biggest fights.
Yes.
But I was already on the other path. So now it seems like we're merging in the same path because now I'm a little bit behind with all what happened in between with my career.
Yes.
So maybe we could get a chance.
I think it should happen. I think you definitely should fight. Let's get you some.
I would love to do so.
Let's get you some fights first.
Do so.
So let's talk about this fight between Joe Smith and Alvarez, or Alvarez. What were your thoughts about the fight before it happened? Who was your money on? And
yeah, when I heard about it, I know both fighters. I know Alvarez very well simply because I fought him and I've seen him in the gym a couple of times. And I know Joe Smith. I've been in the gym with him. As I said, I've sparred with him a couple of times. And Joe Smith is a hard puncher. He's a puncher. He's got a devastating punch behind each punch, left and right. And he's a come forward fighter. But when I heard about this fight, I was like, I don't know. It's an experienced fighter versus a young upcoming fighter. Alvarez should walk all over him easily. That was my belief true. I thought Eleider Alvarez would walk all over him easily. I wasn't backing on the end of knockout. I didn't think Alvarez would have that power to knock Smith out, but I thought he would outbox him. And I didn't get to watch the fight live.
And sorry about that.
It's okay. You sound better now, actually, from the call. Keep going. You sound better now.
I lost you a bit. Sorry.
Yeah, you still there? You sound better now, champ.
Just
actually,
give me a second. I think I lost you for a second.
I can see you
Just
and I
give
can
me a
hear you.
sec.
You sound better now.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, champ.
All right,
Can you
think.
hear me?
Let me just
I
try
can
to-
hear you and I can see you. I can hear you and I can see you, chap. Just keep talking.
Can we try to do this?
Okay. If you can't, come out the room and go back in the room again.
Hello, and I can't hear you for some reason. I've lost you completely.
So go out and come back in the room.
I'm getting a picture, but I can't.
Okay, right. Let me text you. I'll tell you. Hold on.
Someone was calling me, so just disturbed the whole thing.
Yeah, that's usually
I'm sorry about this.
That's all right. Let me get you a second. Just come out room and go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know why I can't hear you. Just okay.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for Isaac Chilemba. We're just telling us about him and potentially a fight in the future. Let's hear what people are saying in the room, and I see what people are saying. Spilk dropped down to cruiserweight about a year ago, but now he's saying he might come up to heavyweight. Oh boy. Khabib Hat says, I had Smith by late TKO based on age. I learned it. Elder would have done better sound. Yeah, we're just waiting for him to come back. He'll be back in a moment. So how are people in the room today? How are we doing? We will be doing a live. While we're at it, I can just find out of how many people will be doing tonight for the show. We are waiting to hear back from Ross Purity to hear his thoughts. So there's him, and with Stacey McKinley and waiting for him to come back in. We're just waiting for Isaac to come back in now and to continue the conversation. Here we are, Isaac.
I'm sorry about that. Someone was calling me, and
you sound better. You sound better without the mic headset.
Oh, must I take it off?
Yeah, you sound better without the headset.
Okay, so I should do that. Just give me a second.
Try talking now.
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
Much better, much better, champ. So okay, what were we talking about? We talked about Joe Smith and the result.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about just Joe Smith. What did you think of the result?
It was very. First of all, congratulations to Joe Smith. That was a great performance by him. It was very unexpected. But when I was looking, I mean, of course, I watched the fight while knowing who won the fight already. But when I was looking at it, I saw that Eleider Alvarez wasn't there. From round one, he was out already. He couldn't.
Didn't seem like no real interest.
Yeah, his body and mind couldn't just connect. I've never seen Eleider Alvarez fighting on inside like that. He's a type of guy that can pick a shot there, pick a shot and move around and give the guy some angles and time up. But this time around, he was just on inside trying to brawl with a heavy puncher, Smith.
Has that got anything to do with age? Do you think it's to do with potentially COVID?
Yeah, I mean, all of that is in there, but also most of it, I think, like to my experience, it all do with your mentality on the night of the fight, where you are. Yeah. Sometimes you just get into the fight and you just off. But yes, the age does play a role, and also COVID messed up a lot of people's mind as well.
Yeah, you think yourself, you haven't boxed for so long, because you're in COVID, you're relaxing with your family, you know, you're a little older, you start thinking yourself, you know what, this is the life, you know, I don't have to go out and get my head smashed, I don't have to be going out and going for runs, I can chill out, I can relax, I'm cool, you know. So you're kind of like in a sort of semi-retirement illusion sort of thing, you know?
Trust me, it felt good when we went under lockdown, complete lockdown. No one was allowed to go out of the house. For the first 3 days, 4 days, it felt good. I was like, fun, I can just sit at home, just watch TV. I just walk in my backyard and come back and watch TV. Play with my dog and come back inside. It was about after, like, okay, this is enough. I just need to get out a bit. I mean, it gets tiring, but I understand what you're saying. With the age, I know the feeling. I get to the point where I like, maybe this isn't for me anymore. Maybe I should just, maybe just call it a day and try something else.
Okay. So, Joe Smith, what do you think his chances are of becoming light heavyweight champion of the world?
Yeah, he's got a lot of chances, simply because, I mean, he's young, but not that young. Yeah, he's 30. He's 30, but so he's still young. And looking at light heavyweight right now, he's got more chances, but I don't think he's a big threat to the light heavyweight contenders now. But he's got a chance. He can win a world title, maybe defend it one or two times, maybe.
You know who I'd put him in with? I'd put him with Beterbiev. Beterbiev. And I'll tell you why. If you look at Callum Johnson, when he fought Beterbiev, Callum Johnson was able to back Beterbiev up and drop him. Now, this guy punched hard enough, Joe Smith, to hurt Beterbiev. I know Beterbiev punched very hard, but I also think that Beterbiev, if you can put him on the back foot and put his back against the ropes, he's not very good defensively. And he has been down.
I'm not sure. To do that, Joe will have to work and master his defenses. Because Beterbiev, yes, he was dropped, but it wasn't like, I think it was to do with the balance and the angle he was. It wasn't because of a punch.
Okay.
When he got Beterbiev, I think he can take a punch as well, as much as he can hit.
Yes.
And Joe has never been tested really. I don't know how much he can take, but Beterbiev's punch is not a punch that you can. People can take.
He fought Bivol though, and Bivol can punch.
No, not rare. No.
You don't think he can punch? Well, you would know.
No.
You would know.
No. No, I think Beterbiev punches twice as hard as Bivol could.
Who's the better boxer? Who do you think the
Who's
better
boxer between
Beterbiev and Bivol?
I don't know. I don't like putting anyone down when it comes to that to say who's better or not. But I mean, I've never been in a ring with in actual match with a Beterbiev. Been with him in the gym, yes, we sparred 4 times. And I fought Bivol. Mental was thinking wise, I would say Bivol can think, but Bivol is just an animal, I think. And that's what
I love Bivol.
He's like, yeah, he just. I'm talking about Beterbiev. Beterbiev is just an animal. He just comes in to destroy whatever is in front of him. Bivol, yes, can think. So if I have to talk about mental wise, who is a smarter fighter, I would say Bivol. But better in all, when we put all package together, who can fight and can walk in and walk out with a win, I'll give to Beterbiev.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come back and visit you on this one. If the two of them clash, I'm coming back. All right, we'll have to do a little cheeky wager one way or the other. I don't know. Okay,
it's just that age also is catching up on him. That guy could have been something more than he is. Yeah, so that age is catching up on all of. I mean, Bivol is lucky, he's too young, still a child, so he's got more years behind him.
Yes. I'll come back to the British light heavyweights in a moment. What weight do you currently walk around at? Says GP Poker.
I walk around about 86, 87 kgs.
So how much is that then? In is that 100? It's 160, 75, 180 pounds.
No, so I walk around about 185 when you talk about pounds. If you ask me in stones, I have no idea. I can never convert to stones, but in the pounds, I'm about 185, between 185 and 188. That's what I walk around at.
Okay. Did Alvarez believe in his own punch power too much in that fight against Smith?
No. I don't think he did, but I think he knew that's the only chance he had. After 2-3 rounds, that's the only chance he had to win the fight was to stop Smith. So I think he tried his best to do so. Just the magic didn't happen.
Okay. Ruben says Beterbiev punches holes in Smith. Oh, Ruben is always quite dramatic in what he said.
I agree with that.
Oh, dear me.
You need to be smart. You need to be.
Don't encourage him anymore. You're encouraging him. Don't encourage him, because everyone everybody. So you don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
I agree with Ruben.
Khabib's hat says He says Beterbiev versus Smith is a good fight. He says, I'm not on the Beterbiev hype train in terms of his back foot game, which I've seen flaws in, which is what I was saying earlier. He says, however, Smith is in big time trouble, big time, if Beterbiev hits him 2 times harder than Bivol. Yes.
Yeah. As a fighter, I know. And I don't know. Smith, this is a sport we're talking about. This is a sport of boxing. Anything can happen.
Okay.
Like I had no idea. I didn't give Smith a chance at all against Alvarez. But look what happened. He got stopped.
Can I?
So anything can happen.
Can I play matchmaker for 1 minute? Matches have been made before. People listen to the channel, and fights have been made on the slide, but they've been made. if you could choose between Buatsi and Anthony Yard, who would you have? Who would you come to England for to fight? Buatsi or Anthony Yard, and why?
Anthony Yard.
Oh, why Anthony Yard?
Simply because he's a smart fighter. I mean, yes, he's got a lot of flaws, a lot of, you know, there are raw spaces that he can improve on, but he's smart. He can improve on it if he works on it.
Yes.
And I would like to put myself a challenge. I mean, in front of the guy like that, who gonna stand in front of each other and try to outthink each other. I like that mental challenge.
So that would be for Anthony Yard you're talking?
Yes.
What about Buatsi? What does Buatsi bring to the table?
You know, I wouldn't say much because I haven't seen much of his fights. I think I just saw him in highlights. But
yes,
to what I can remember, it's not much of a challenge for me.
Ooh, I think you're gonna get a call from Eddie Hearn. I think you're gonna get a call from Eddie. You're gonna get a call from Eddie.
If I get a shot on, it'll be is an ad for me. Then we'll be against you.
I'm telling Eddie you. I'm telling Eddie you.
Anthony Yard he's been elusive. I mean, yes, he's got heavy muscles on him, so sometimes he struggles to throw that quick punch. Yes. But he's got some elusiveness in him. He can think, he can move, and I mean, the guy can fight.
So, okay, Buatsi is a guy that you would be interested in fighting.
You know what? I'll have to go through, see some of his fights before I actually say much about him.
Okay. Yeah. So that means yeah. So it looks, we know that Eddie does watch the channel. We know he watches the channel. So I'm sure you might get a call soon from Eddie, and you'll be fighting in the backyard. Hey,
I'll be there tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow. It's a win for me.
Oh my God. So Chilemba is saying you'd like to fight in the back garden, which is Eddie's backyard. Have you seen Eddie's backyard?
That's what I've been doing all my career. I've never fought in my own backyard. I always go in people's backyard. Fight them in their bedroom. I like doing that. Yeah, that's what I'm good for.
You're good at fighting other people's backyard. So literally, you're prepared to go and fight Eddie Hearn's backyard.
You know, in my own bedroom, get in there and I put up a fight. And go back and come back home with a winner, of course.
Oh, Isaac, you're funny. We'll have to come back and have a look at that one. We'll definitely have to come and look at that one. So you don't mind going in the backyard and find Buatsi. So where do you see your career now? Are you, and I don't want to sound disrespectful when I say this, but I've got to ask the question, where does Isaac Chilemba see himself? Does he see himself as a future, one more shot at a world title? Are you looking to make as much money as you can, even if it means, you know, compromising here and there? Where do you see yourself at this stage of your career?
You know, first of all, as much as the money is so important in all our lives,
yes.
When it comes to the sport, money has never been my number one motivation. No, my motivation, I just want to get there and reach the point of being one of the greats. I think last time we spoke, I told you the same.
Yes.
So now I've set myself a goal. In the next 2-3 years, of course, coronavirus pandemic have destroyed a bit of that. So now I give myself 2 years to see myself winning another a world title again. But now, since with this, so it's adding to 3 years. So in the next 3 years, per se, or let me say 2 years of my boxing, I'll be the world champion again. And that's the goal I set myself. I've got small goals that I have to go through, a lot of challenges that I have to go through in between. And
don't do this to me again. Don't do this again. Where are you? We're just waiting for that might be a call from Eddie Hearn coming through now. Yes, we've just lost Isaac Chilemba there again. Possibly Eddie's on the phone already. So Yard versus Isaac's a good fight, but he's now talking about he would fight in the backyard and fight Buatsi. Wow. So Buatsi's got no opponent yet, has he? So I guess Isaac's available, so why not make the fight happen? I think Isaac's been cut off here. I think it might be the case of him getting a telephone call. So what do you think of what Isaac has had to say so far about Buatsi, Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yard? He's gone, so he'll be back, I'm sure. So what do you think of these fights? So let's just go through here. Buatsi gets hit too much against lower position. I said this already. I've stated this a few times. Shouldn't be getting hit with sort of punches he's getting hit with. Of course, people are laughing at what Isaac's had to say. Isaac is back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Isaac,
that.
please confirm to us. You just had a call from Matchroom HQ. Was that a call from Matchroom HQ?
You said?
Was that a call from Eddie's backyard or not? Did you get a call from Eddie?
I wish it was. I wish it was. I'll be packing up right now. I'll be right there in a second.
I want to ask you about hype jobs. People who, I'm sure across your career, you would have seen people who have been given, who've had padded records, and promoters talk a lot about them, but they haven't faced anybody, but there's a lot of hype around them. In your career, how are you able to tell the difference between a guy who really can fight and a guy that's got, he's a hype train, without them actually fighting top opposition? How do you know the difference?
The only way to differentiate that is when they fight someone who can fight back. If they get a guy in front of them who fights back, there you can tell whether the fighter is good enough for that top level or not. Where if the guy can manage to overcome that and still defend. I've seen a lot of fighters who, after 2, 3, 4, 5 fights, they're stripping all their opponents. They're fighting the guys with 5 losses and maybe a single win, or 2 wins and 10 losses, and they're knocking those guys out. Now they're happy themselves to think they're the world champions, up until they get to a certain level in their career where they fight someone who can fight back. Then everything else, then that's when they know, okay, maybe I'm not that all big star or something big in this boxing. So the only way to know that is when they fight a real contender in front of them.
See, I there's social media, particularly highlights. Like I've seen guys hit people with 6 and 7 left hooks against you. You don't know who the guy is. You've seen a guy throw a guy 6, 7 left hooks, and they're like, "That's amazing." But who's the guy he's just done it against? And then when they step up against good opposition, they're getting beat.
Exactly. I mean, I could say I'm the world greatest singer. I could say that while I'm singing in my backyard. But put me in front of thousands of people, and I have to sing. That's when I can really tell if I can sing or not.
On the subject of singing in backyards, Eddie was actually singing in his backyard the other day. He was actually singing karaoke in his backyard. He's got not a bad voice. See, I think this backyard.
Hopefully, he didn't announce to the world that he's the world greatest singer.
Well, he hasn't quite done that yet, but he's got his own action figure, and he's got a book at the moment talking about success, how to be successful in life. So, you know,
I'll look it up. That it sounds very interesting.
You can get a little, and you can get a Matchroom T-shirt as well.
All right. Okay. Cool. Perfect.
So when you go to the backyard, you can do some shopping. You can get the Eddie Hearn.
Get it that and come back home with everything with me.
Yeah, come back with everything. Yes, signed autograph from Eddie and everything as well. And then one of the British light heavyweights. for yourself, when you look at the world scene of light heavyweights, who would you say is an up and coming good light heavyweight we should watch out for? Yes.
If I have to tell you a name right now, I'll lie.
Is anyone in South Africa?
Not really. Not really. I'm sure they are, but I just haven't paid attention to it. For the last couple of years or much, I just pay attention to the guys above me.
Yes.
My attention is on that, or has always been on that, and I try to master and try to see what they are doing right and what they're doing wrong, and etc. So I haven't paid attention to the guys behind. Now, if I have to say who I think is going to be the world greatest light heavyweight, I'll lie. I have to go back and do my research. I mean, do some studies on it to see who are these young fighters coming up.
Okay. Khabib says, I think in a boxer's career, 20 to 30 fights to find everything generally then gets hard. Some world champions have not gone past 30 fights. It's where it gets hard, very hard. What do you think?
Yeah, it depends on who you're fighting in those 30 fights. You get fighters like BWTM, of course, he was amateur world champion a couple of times. When he turned pro, he had a few fights before going for the world title. Lomachenko the same.
Yes.
After 3-4 fights, they were world champions. So yes, their career can run short. They can end up retiring with only less than 20 fights.
Yes.
Depending on who you fight. Then you get fighters that they might have 40 fights under their name. And if you look at all those fights, they're fighting some guys from nowhere that the guys they look like they've never boxed before. So it depends what challenges you are getting in those fights.
Yes, yeah.
I began getting real challenges when I had only 11 fights, because my 12th fight was African title, a BU title. Then from there on, it was a title after another. So now I was fighting real contenders as I go by. So by the time I was having 20-something fights, I was already meeting the top light heavyweights. And you get other guys, if you look at them, there is a guy, I can't remember his name, he's undefeated as well, he's in light heavyweight. I think he's from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. He's undefeated. I think he's 35 undefeated or 40 fights undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look at all his record, he's never really fought a name in light heavyweight. He fought the guys, I don't know, from nowhere. That's why he can have 40 fights undefeated. But if you put him against someone, a non-fighter, could be, I don't know, Smith, could be Alvarez, could be myself, could be BWTM, that's when you tell whether he's a real contender or not.
That's interesting. It's really interesting. I want to talk about something, because you've probably been on both sides of the coin. A side versus B side. Yeah. It's an argument that's had a lot in boxing. When you've gone in the ring as a champion, what are the benefits that boxing fans don't know about?
When you're going in as a champion, there are less benefits. There's way less benefits.
Really?
Yeah. It's risks. There's a lot of risk when you're going in as a champion. Because you take on all the pressure. You have to defend your title. You have to prove that you didn't win this title by mistake, or which other people call lucky. They say he won by lucky or something. You want to prove that you are the champion and you can defend your title. So you have less advantages than the challenger, because everybody's eyes are on you. They're waiting to see what you're going to do as a champion, or what you're going to do to retain your title. Or a challenger, on the other hand, the only pressure you have as a challenger is to get in there and take that title away from your opponent. And at the end of the day, if you fail to do so, people can turn and say, yeah, you lost to a champion. So what? You can turn out to people say, I lost to the champion. So what now? But as a champion, when you lose your title, and say the challenger, someone who wasn't a champion now is a champion, by defeating you, you feel like, oh, so you got a lot of pressure going in as a champion. That's my take.
Okay. One of the things that's said in boxing a lot, and there's a certain person on this channel that likes to get ageist. I'm not mentioning who his name is, Ruben Guerrero. But anyway, he likes to talk a lot about. He likes to talk about age. Oh, he's 35 years old and he's past it. He's 36 years old. He's past it. And I struggle with that sometimes because there's some guys who are 35 and 36 and haven't had hard fights because of their technique and their skill. You look at guys like Bernard Hopkins, who went and fought until he was 50 years old. You know,
yeah.
What are your thoughts about it as being I've got to call you now respectfully, a veteran fighter? What are your thoughts on this thing about age again?
There's good and bad on both sides.
Okay.
Being young means you are inexperienced.
Yes.
You haven't get there yet, and so you've got a lot to learn.
Yes.
Yes, you've got the strength. Your agility levels are at its peak. Your stamina levels are at its peak. But mental-wise, which is the most important part, you don't have all the tools with you. And with old age, you gain a lot of experience. You've been in a lot of wars, some wins, some losses. You know when a guy does this, what will come next. Sometimes it just comes on its own. It's like automatic, or it just comes automatically. It just plays itself because you've been there before. You've been in that path before. So that's the good part about getting old and having that such experience levels. But now when it comes to the border, your stamina levels drops. In order to maintain the same type of strength, you need to work as twice as you used to be in your 20s.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really interesting. Final thing. I read something the other day about the IBO becoming a legit belt. How do you feel about that? Because that, to you've been champion of the world, and for me, the IBO belt is a recognized belt. But people are saying now the IBO is now legit. I thought it's always been a legit belt. So your thoughts on the IBO belt?
So I heard that. I just didn't follow it up. I didn't follow up the story to know what exactly they're talking about. But some my stablemates were talking about it in the gym a week ago, and I mean, a world title is still a world title to me. I mean, the title is still a title to me. And if a man gets in that ring, take punches and give punches and win a title, it means something to them. Might not mean anything to anyone, but it's something at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So to me, I heard that title before, and till today I regard myself as a former world champion because I did it. It was called officially. It was called a world title, a world championship, and I won it. So I officially call myself. I understand what people are saying on the other hand, because everybody's been talking about boxing should be this like it used to be in the era 1900s, where it was only one belt in each division. Yes, and that's also true. Like when you say I'm a world champion, you know that out of all thousands of fighters in your division, you are the champion. It makes sense to on the other hand, but also, I mean, there's a lot of fighters that some of them can. If we have one belt in each division, then the champion will have to fight every second week because there's a lot of fighters in each division. So
yeah.
Right or wrong. I don't know which side is right or wrong, but yeah.
I should have asked you about Roy Jones. I should have asked you about your trainer Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Are you glad that fight got cancelled? Are you or suspended, or are you kind of like?
When I heard about it, my first reaction was like, "What the hell is Roy doing? Why he wants to?" And then I thought about it. Gave myself a few days to process the whole thing, It was like, no, Roy will be all right. Roy has got, for 51, I can't even match his speed. He's got
Still,
incredible, yeah, he's incredible. He's got incredible hand speed. He's got foot movements in him. The only thing maybe I should worry about is his endurance levels. If he will be okay to go 8 rounds, but I knew he'll be okay. And the guy can hit. He hits hard.
how hard
No, okay,
how hard
the
does,
guy.
how hard does Roy hit?
He's a heavyweight. He's a damn heavyweight. He hits very hard. He
Like
hits very
comparing
hard.
his punching power to Kovalev, for example. Who hits harder?
Kovalev is a baby to Roy. Kovalev is a baby. No, you can't match that.
So Roy's
Even
punching power is harder than Kovalev's.
You can't match that punch. No.
Wow.
Yeah, he hits very hard, and because it's mostly because of the speed in the punch. Because it's got such incredible speed, the punch comes at such high speed. That's why it creates more that big impact when it hits a target.
So you still do you still spar with Roy, or is that gone now?
We've done a couple of drills, but not full-on sparring now. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
You're a muscle for God.
I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But yeah, we've done some drills and stuff, and I felt when he touches my body, I know, yeah, this guy is heavy and this guy can hit. And because it's a speed, sometimes you get hit with a punch, unexpected punch. You didn't see where it come from. That's what makes it more dangerous.
Have you had a chance to move around with Chris Eubank Jr., spar with him?
No. Unfortunately, I haven't been in the States for more than a year now.
Okay.
And since it's been in the States, I haven't been there yet.
So are you intending to go back, or what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, all of this is done and we're back on board. I will be back in. I will go back in the States. If this Russian fight happens, we'll have a camp here in South Africa. But maybe thereafter, maybe my next fight will be in the States or somewhere. Then I will have to have a training camp in the States.
Okay, well, champ, keep us informed about that fight. You said, did you say Chudinov?
Shouldn't, yeah, Fedor Shouldn't.
Okay, which is the one that George Groves fought? Was his brother?
Yes, he fought George Grove. Yeah, that's his only loss. He lost to George Grove.
Okay. Let's see somebody saying here. Oh. Okay, right. Do you have any final thoughts? Did you watch the heavyweight fight last night with Dillian White and Povetkin?
That was you know what I did? That was one of the fights I didn't give anyone. I just said whatever happens in the fight happens. I didn't have like a favorite saying I think Dillian White will win or Alexander will win. I just said whoever wins, I'll just sit and watch. And what a sweet uppercut. That was
lovely, isn't it? Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a beautiful uppercut. I mean,
if that happened to you,
from that,
would you take the rematch if it happened to you? If you got knocked out like that, would you take the rematch?
Well, I wouldn't get knocked out like that. I still believe I would never be stopped.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm just kidding. Yes, I would take. To what I saw, it was 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
It was 50-50 up until that knockout. That knockdown. So yeah, if I was doing what, I would take a rematch. Okay.
And do you have a final message to Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and Joshua Buatsi? Do you have a message to them finally? If Eddie Hearn's not if Eddie's watching, so message.
Yeah, this is my message. I heard about this boy that is coming up. I heard a lot about him. I still don't know much about him since I haven't looked up what he's got, but I am ready anytime, any day. I could leave right now, be in his backyard and defeat him right now. So if they want to see, if people in UK really want to see a real fight, I'm here. I always come to fight.
So the golden boy, Isaac Chilemba, is calling out Mr. Buatsi. He says, I'm ready.
I'm ready anytime, any day of the week.
Okay. Isaac Chilemba, thank you so much for talking to BWTM Spirits, my brother. It's lovely to see you again. You're looking great, Spirits. I'm glad to see you, and we'll talk to you soon. All right?
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk soon. Yeah.
You take care, champ, and all the best.
Thanks, brother. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thanks.
So there you have it again, Isaac Chilemba. This is going to be an interesting evening. We've got more boxing to come for you tonight. Really, I'm sure that you'll hear more about this once this is tagged. I'm sure that Eddie will probably be in touch with Isaac Chilemba. It wouldn't be the first time Eddie has done it. So let's very quickly get out of here and get you some heavyweight talk with Stacey McKinley. We've still got Tony Cisse to come in and a few other people that might want to come in tonight. We'll try and talk to them as well. So I'm just waiting for confirmation on a few things. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation. But as soon as we get confirmation, we'll be back with you. So that's it. Let's see what people are saying here. Eddie wants that rematch before February. I hope Povetkin signs with top BBC or top rank. Great guess. All the best. Thank you very much. Get on the phone, Eddie. Oh, by the way, what do you think, before I go, why isn't Saunders v. Smith's unification has been made now that Canelo Vildrum is made? I don't know. Very quick question. Let us know in the comment section how we should tag this particular video. I'm out of here. I shall see you shortly.